Meantime, here in Chicago, the mayor, along with other city and state leaders, continue pushing back on the president's threat to send in National Guard troops, armed troops, to Chicago. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker flat out telling the president to stay away.
Mr. President, do not come to Chicago. You are neither wanted here nor needed here. Your remarks about this effort over the last several weeks have betrayed a continuing slip in your mental faculties and are not fit for the auspicious office that you occupy.
All right, push back, but one group in the city is welcoming the idea of troops coming here to Chicago. It's an organization called Chicago Flips Red. They say Chicago's neighborhoods are out of control. NewsNation's Alex Caprariello live here in Chicago. Alex, what are Chicagoans telling you?
Yeah, Nicole, we're speaking to both everyday citizens who live here in Chicago day in and day out, as well as asking some of those tough questions to our highest levels of government. And what we're hearing from these lawmakers, specifically in Chicago, is that actually they would welcome the federal government's help in actually fighting crime in this city, but they doubt that that truly is President Trump's motive here. So the battle will continue between President Trump and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, who's hosting a separate press conference at this very moment about a different topic, but will almost undoubtedly answer questions about the possibility of the National Guard entering the Windy City. The potential Democratic presidential hopeful says he hasn't had any sort of consultations or conversations with the commander-in-chief, and he says that's a clear indication that the president has ulterior motives.
This is not about fighting crime. This is about Donald Trump searching for any justification to deploy the military in a blue city, in a blue state, to try and intimidate his political rivals.
And we are hearing from others. Just last night on the Hill, the Attorney General of Illinois spoke to our very own Blake Berman that the state is willing to accept federal assistance, but deploying the National Guard would not be justified. Listen to this.
I've collaborated with federal law enforcement on crime, federal law enforcement agencies that are trained to deal with fighting crime, the FBI, the DEA, the ATF, Secret Service, even HSI. In certain circumstances, we fought crimes such as gun trafficking and other gun crimes, internet crimes against children, organized retail crime, and other crimes. And so we welcome collaboration with federal law enforcement that are trained to fight crime.
And you'll often hear Chicago being referenced as the murder capital of America. But overall, when you take a look at these FBI crime statistics, it shows that crime is going down in almost every single category. But that being said, just like all big cities, it is still an ongoing threat. It is a concern for the people who actually live here. And the numbers do prove it. Like, for example, just this weekend, there were 25 separate shooting incidents that occurred in this city that accounted for some 27 different people that were either injured or killed by that gunfire. So when you speak to the people here, of course, they say that crime is one of their top concerns day in and day out.
Yeah, it is a real issue here. All right, so Alex, speaking of the people who, live and work here every day, you spoke to Chicagoans. What are they telling you?
Yeah, so interestingly, we know that most major metropolitans across America tend to vote blue. They are Democratic cities, very often led by Democratic mayors. But there is a growing constituency here in Chicago that is flipping red, and that's exactly who we spoke to. Two African-American women who come from this grassroots organization called Chicago Flips Red. They're primarily black men and women from the South Side. Of course, that is where a lot of the violent crime is concentrated. And they're pushing back against people like Governor J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson, saying, look, you don't speak for us when it comes to violent crime. You don't see the types of things that we're seeing. We spoke to them just this morning. This is what they told me.
When crime is down, the citizens is going to tell you that, because we are going to feel safe. We know we are out in the streets. We have our boots on the ground. We live in this. This is our experience. So when crime is down, we're going to tell you. You're going to see it. You're not going to be having 4 mass shootings in a span of 1 month. You're not going to have residents, senior citizens lying shot in the street.
And these very outspoken women have even caught the attention of the commander-in-chief. He even referenced them from the White House on Friday, saying that there is a growing constituency of Republican voters that are for fighting crime in their city. That being said, there's a ton of people, of course, here in Chicago that are against sending the National Guard into the Windy City. They gathered outside the Trump Tower just within the last few days saying that this is not the way to go about it. They instead want to see more funding funneled into crime prevention programs and those that actually target the youth, those that are most vulnerable to actually entering into this world in which crime is escalating within our city.
Yeah, a wide variety of opinions. Okay, Alex, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.